at night. This city actually has a history going back 2,200 years to the Han Empire. It's actually been 3 times the capital of China. But as you can see, it's a very modern city nowadays. Well, it's semi-finals a day today. And our next semi-final is women's doubles. It's Chen and JIA, winners of the end-of-season championships in 2016, up against last year's beaten finalists Lee So-hee and Shin Seung-chan. Well, this matchup is a combination of both groups, because Lee So-hee and Shin Seung-chan topped Group B, where the world champions were Matsumoto and Nagahara, and they're playing against the second pair in Group A, the current world number ones, Chen and JIA. So this is the first of the women's doubles semi-finals, as you can see in the top half of the draw. It's an all-Japanese affair. Both those Japanese pairs, former world number ones. In fact, Lee So-hee and Shin Seung-chan are the only pair in the semi-finals who haven't been world number ones. Chen and JIA, their win-loss record translates into 26 finals, having won 20 career finals. For Lee So-hee and Shin Seung-chan, they've been in 17 career finals, winning 8 titles. 1 title this year, that was at the French Super 750. But here are the number 4 seeds and current world number ones. The Chen and the left-handed JIA. 5 titles this year. The All England, the Malaysian, the Badminton Asia Championships, the China Open and the Hong Kong Open as well. And on Wednesday, they beat their teammates Du Yue and Li Yinhui in 3 games. They also went to 3 games in Thursday's match against Poli and Rahayu, the World Championship bronze medalists. 1 hour and 13 minutes for that one. Yesterday, they lost to the number 1 seeds in a repeat of the 2017 World Championship final, lost to Fukushima and Hirota. But here are last year's beaten finalists. Lee So-hee and Shin Seung-chan lost the final last year to the reigning Olympic champions, Matsutomo and Takahashi. Well, they've had a terrific campaign so far because they won all of their matches. And it started against the number 3 seeds, Kim So-young and Kong Hee-young. And they actually dropped the opening game, as you can see, but they eventually won in 1 hour and 17 minutes. Then on Thursday, they beat the number 1 seeds, the 2-time reigning world champions, Matsumoto and Nagahara. And they lost the opening game in that one as well. Yesterday's match against Kirihara-kun and Rajongjai was the only match they won in 2 straight games. In fact, they had to save a game point in that second game before winning it 23-21. So here the former world champions, the current world number ones, the former winners of the end-of-year championships, Chen and JIA. Well, I was telling you, they've won 5 titles this year. They've actually been in 7 finals, 6 of them at World Tour level. So to Lee So-hee and Shin Seung-chan, 3 finals for them this year, because not only did they win the French Super 750, they also reached the final of their home event, the Korean Open 500, and also the Fuzhou China Open, the 750 event. So this will be a 4th meeting between these 2 pairs. And Chen and JIA have won all 3 previous encounters. The last time they met was the quarter-final of the Australian Open 300 event. And that was an hour and 25 minutes before winning 21-17 in the deciding game. So the Korean pair, who last year came good at the end of the year. In fact, they reached 4 finals in their last 4 tournaments of 2018, and they're doing very well at the end of this year too. I'm going to ask Steen about that in a moment. But let's first look at Chen, who is 22 years of age, born in Mezhou in eastern Guangdong province. That's the province where we are right now in southern China. They are back to being world #1s, and this is their 41st week in total in their 4th spell as being top of the world rankings. It's actually their 4th consecutive year that they've finished in the top 10 of the race to the end of year championships, and when you consider they're both 22 years of age, that's remarkable. Left-hander, born in Tianjin in the northeast of the country. It's a coastal city. Well, they've been in finals at all 4 levels of tournament, have the Chinese pair, but haven't won a Super 300 event this year. The Australian Open, when these 2 pairs met, was actually the final that the Chinese pair got to. This is Li So-hee, who is 25 years of age, born in Ulsan. She and her partner are currently enjoying their 12th consecutive week at a career high of 5, but as you can see, she's been as high as 2 in the world ranking, and that was with JIA, her previous partner, with whom she won the 2017 All England Championships. Chen is also 25 years of age. She turned 25 the Friday before the start of these World Tour finals. She's also been as high as #2 in the world, and that was with Jung Kyung-won, with whom she won the bronze medal at the Rio Olympic Games. So, our court officials for this one, Henrik Boas from Denmark and Simon Au from Hong Kong is the service judge. So Steen, quickly, any theories on why the Korean pair seem to do so well at the end of the year? They've done exceptionally well last year at the end of the year. This year, French winners, final of Fuzhou China Open.
Yeah, it's puzzling. There's many theories. It could be something with injuries. If I go back to last year, there were some injuries, so before they got back and got fully fit and got the game going. This year they've had to change coaches and so on. So I think from what I just have on the top of my mind, they've been really good, the Koreans, here towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
All the Korean women's doubles pairs.
Yeah, they have, haven't they? 3 different Korean pairs, won 3 consecutive World Tour titles.
Korea. And on our left, Chen, JIA, China. Lee to serve, JIA, love all, play.
So last year's beaten finalists, Li So-hee and Chen against the former champions and current world #1s, Chen and Jia Yifan. Good rally. So, Steen, we saw the head-to-head between these two pairs, 3 previous meetings, all won by the Chinese combination. Is there something in the style of play of the current world #1s that the Koreans struggle with? Or am I reading too much into it in that 2 of the 3 previous meetings have gone the full distance and been very tough matches indeed?
I think there is something. I think JIA Fan's power is something that can prove too much for the Koreans when she's at her best. And then we have Chen, who is very agile and can cover a lot of ground. Plus, the Chinese pair, they've got a really solid defense, so the Koreans have trouble scoring. There's not necessarily one player that you can target in the defense. But it's only 3 encounters, and it might also take a little while for the Koreans to figure out what is that we're going to do, how is it the tactics are going to be against this Chinese pair.
Yeah.
But so far they've started out well, JIA and Chen, and I noticed on the avatars in the introduction, all the pairs were pictured with one player with a clenched fist, and the only one I was afraid of was Chen. I wouldn't want to have contact with that fist there, because she was going to knock you out.
Yeah, she's a feisty character, isn't she?
You can almost see that she's fired up today. That was not a good... Oi, there's a challenge. Wasn't a good net shot from Chen.
So what does Hawkeye say? Clearly out.
Oh. Good work by the linesman. I saw that as more or less in the middle of the tram lines. That was horribly wrong.
Well, this is interesting dynamics on the coaching bench too, isn't it, Steen? Because
it is.
Former Korean head coach, now working in China.
And that's never happened before. It's the first time ever.
That they've had a foreign coach.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's push wide. Well, Chen is actually looking to reach her 4th final at the end of season championships, because not only was she in the final in 2016 with her women's doubles partner of today, she's also won her 2 mixed doubles titles with Cheng Shiwei.
Good shot. Yeah, and that was perhaps a situation where she was even more fired up in, was it in 2017, when she was told that she shouldn't play mixed doubles anymore with Jiang Siwei, and this was her last tournament.
Yeah, it was their last tournament together, winning this, their 2nd consecutive title. Having won the mixed doubles title in 2016 as well.
And they could have removed Jiang Siwei, and Chen, she would have won it alone that tournament, because she had something to prove.
Yeah.
But I think, and I've said it before, we have to give it to Zhang Jun, the other one on the coaching chair, the president of the Chinese Badminton Association and head of the doubles department, that that he had the guts to make this change, because In this tournament here, we have 8 women's doubles pairs. Not one of them is featured in the mixed doubles event.
Yes.
So it's become 2 more and more different disciplines, 2 more and more different skill sets you need in women's doubles and mixed doubles.
Yeah. That said, Chen is one of only 2 players ever to win the doubles double at the end of season championships. That, of course, had to be 2016 when she won the women's doubles with the partner of today, and as we've just been talking about, the mixed doubles as well. Yeah, good aggression from the Koreans. Good follow-up from Shin Seung-chan.
Is the other player a Dane?
Yeah, Christina Pedersen.
Yeah.
And do you remember the year she won the doubles double?
No.
Kuala Lumpur, 2013.
Good shot. Excellent defense by Lee So-hee.
5-8.
Chen was going for the left side of Lee So-hee to make it difficult for her to perform that cross block defense there, but managed to do it anyway.
Gosh, did well to get out of trouble there.
Her racket is gone. Yeah,
oh.
yeah.
Yeah, partner was unaware.
I think it went in one of the defensive shots. She was making her way first towards the net and then looking for the chance to get out of the court. Was it in Fuzhou, China Open or Hong Kong? We saw a men's singles player trying to play a high lift and get off and change his racket.
Now that would be a trick. Oh, that's a great return of serve.
Placement.
Is there heavy strapping on the left leg of the left-hander?
I think there is just skin-colored strapping. It's very difficult to spot from our position here. Shin is ready to serve.
Well, I didn't catch any of that, did you?
He said he would not accept what Shin was doing. Sort of provoking JIA fan by serving the moment she looked up.
Oh, the lucky net cord. for JIA, for which she apologises. So it's a 4-point advantage for the number 4 seeds, Chen and JIA. 10 minutes into the match. And in case you're a little bit confused as to why I'm saying number 4 seeds, when I've also told you that they're the current world number 1s, the seeding for the World Tour finals is taken directly from the race to Guangzhou standings. So wherever they finished on the race to Guangzhou standings, which was number 4, that's what they're seeded for this particular tournament.
The tricky part of it is that it's not like, and what is it? What kind of tournament is it that they haven't done as well in as on the normal world ranking? Well, none actually. It's just that on the World Tour, on the race to Guangzhou list, all tournaments played counting. So if other pairs are playing 1 or 2 tournaments more, then they of course get an advantage.
Yes, because it's an accumulation of points rather than your best 10-point tournaments, which is the case with the world rankings. It's been long, well judged.
Yeah, that's very well left by JIA, because it is the problem for Li and Shin, or it can be the problem for Li and Shin, playing the near side of the court here, that they cannot be totally free with their defense because of the sideways drift, not the sideways drift, the drift alongside the court that there still is.
She's actually looking to reach her 30th career final. And if she wins today, tomorrow will be her 30th. And just one, that's over her career. And that's just in the women's doubles discipline. Oh, it's just wide. Well left.
I remember Shin. I thought she was going to be a mixed doubles player because I saw her being tried out in a couple of tournaments with Lee Young-dae once, and I thought she did quite well, but wasn't selected. Look how quick Chen comes forward in his in her forehand side.
Yeah.
So she's standing in front of the white line, putting pressure on Li and Shin.
That's a perfect flick serve. Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, it's really one to emulate because she stops the racket so quickly. Generates so much power from a very, very small movement. JIA. One more, perhaps?
No. No wonder the fans roar their approval. watch Chen in a moment, how quickly she comes forward. Oh, I didn't quite see it, but she started to move forward before her opponents had even hit the shuttle.
Yeah.
Great anticipation.
Now she missed that one, Chen, but to me, that rally is a sign on what the Koreans have done wrong on this side of the court. They've tried to apply power, and they've achieved nothing except getting counter-attacked. If this match should go to a third and decisive game, I think we'll see them try to play a lot more with angle and variation from this near side of the court. Saw that when they beat Matsumoto and Nakahara in the group stage.
That's lovely touch at the net.
I don't think Chen and Jiang can play the same way in the second game. I'm really interested to see if they have sort of like a plan B for playing with the drift.
Well judged.
12-19.
Oh, that's a great net shot from Lee So-hee. She's very expressive, is Chen. You know when she's fed up, don't you? And you definitely know when she's happy and pleased with herself. I like that. I like to see the emotions of the players.
Yeah, that's her personality. So
Yeah.
she's being herself. That's really good, I think.
Yeah. 6 game point opportunities. That's well saved.
15-20.
Opening game, 21-15 for the former champions Chen Qingchen and Jia Yifan.
Won by Chen Qingchen, Jia Yifan, 21-15.
Yeah, they were certainly the better pair in the opening game, more attacking play, and they thoroughly deserved that opening game in 20 minutes.
因为他吃顶包，他杀过来不会中，所以跳半个你也杀不死你的，懂不懂？所以不要去跳得很底。
快点往前拿不到点，你掉重点，我把你拿对角；我掉重点，你帮我拿对角。就他那个样子就很难受。
兄弟，他逼上去，一起逼上去。
不要太重，就是手 短一点，要恰好冲前场。
你要逼上他，有一杀你就这一小发力，要这准备好，他还是想控的，控不好。
Lee Kyung-won, Korean coach, Olympic silver medalist with Lee Ho-jung in Beijing in 2008.
seconds. 20 seconds.
So the current world number one's Chen and trying fun. 1 game to the good. 21-15, that opening game. I want to pick up on something you said towards the end of that opening game. You wondered whether the Chinese pair had a plan B. You said they can't keep playing the same way. Do they have a plan B for when they're playing with the drift? What, in your opinion, should be plan B now that they're playing with the drift?
I think they would have to control the rallies a bit more. In the first game, they were content in letting the Koreans attack and then play counter.
So you think they've got to take the initiative within the rallies?
It's not like they didn't take the initiative. They took it when the chance was there and fired power smashes. If they use these power smashes here, they run the same risk as the Korean did in the first game of getting counter-attacked. So I would like them to use a lot of angles, a lot of steep smashes, 80% smashes, slices, one side of the body, the other side of the body, and see if they can convert that. But that's working as well for them here on this side of the court. As long as they get to play from a good position above the tape, they are better in the flat game. My worry was, what if it gets around tape level and they apply pressure and power? There would be a chance that it went long, but so far they've been absolutely brilliant at doing it also here on the near side of the court.
Yeah, okay.
That's gone long. Wow, she shouldn't have taken that. Lee So-hee. She ended up almost outside the court.
5-1.
Great placement by JIA to get the net player to try and play it.
Jump smash, and again. Yeah, 3 jump smashes in a row from Chen.
6-1.
And they're getting a little bit help in their attack now, so it's difficult for the Koreans to get the correct length on the long defense, and that's why you need to play a flat defense, much more flat defense on that side.
Well, the Chinese combination are really stamping their authority on this. The Koreans need to stop this run immediately and try and close down this deficit.
She gets a chance almost mid-court Chen and another jump smash. And Shin has sat down outside of court. That's exactly what she should be doing from a Korean perspective. Breaking the rhythm of Chinese combination. So it could be saying, hey, that should not be allowed, but what can you do?
It was just going through my mind, because in my mind I was saying, well, you know, you're talking with the coach's hat.
Exactly.
And if your players need to break the rhythm, that's the sort of thing they need to do. But I'm sitting here thinking, well, isn't that gamesmanship?
It is.
And the point is, how does the umpire stop it? If somebody says, look, the strapping on my ankle is getting caught up with the sock and I need to just straighten it out.
You can't do anything. And that means that as an opponent, you have to be ready. You have to tackle. JIA and Chen, they have to be ready to tackle these kind of situations, because they won't be able to avoid it.
Yeah.
Good shot. Oi, misunderstanding.
Yeah. I suppose if somebody uses gamesmanship against you, you should use it in a positive way and say to yourself, okay, well, they're obviously worried.
Exactly.
They're worried.
They have to use it.
Yeah,
they have to use all the tools in the toolbox. Another misunderstanding. Oi.
Brilliant. Fabulous rally. Oh, flatter smash. Oh, that's gone miles long.
This is a situation where she's got to control herself, Chen, because of her character. I would suggest that she gets a little bit annoyed with herself. It's good that she's taking a little break now. It was 3 rallies where she's they've been a little confused.
This is a very, very handsome lead at the mid-game interval. A game and an 8-point advantage for Chen and JIA. Well, Steen, what would you have been advising the Korean pair to try and turn this around now?
Get it below the tape, first of all. Starts in the service situation, and There you see they get to lift it. That's not so good. Under pressure. Under pressure, and they can't get it away.
Yeah.
They can't hold their defense against Chen and JIA. So the service situation has got to win the service situation, get it below the tape, or push towards the corners of the Chinese part of the court. And then, if they get it below the tape and get the attack, maintain the attack. Don't give them any speed to work with. So play steep attacks from this side here, because I feel the Chinese are coming forward trying to turn it around.
Given what you've just said, I was very surprised at the return of serve, which was just lifting it high to the back of the court.
Yeah.
If you,
that's like a panic attack, a panic return.
Yeah.
That's okay. I can't do anything. The opponents are closing the net down. I have to just get it into play. Well left.
Well, it was called out 2 ways by the sideline judge and the backline judge. And Chen is challenging. When you've got 2 line judges that both concur that it was out,
yeah,
it's rather a strange decision, isn't it, to challenge?
The thing, it would be so good if you were right.
Yeah, it's a big if, though, isn't it? So 1 challenge lost. 21 remains for world number 1s.
That's fantastic play.
I think there was a call from Lee So-hee there. Come on, get up, we're still in this.
And also one thing, they need to push their defense forward, because trying to defend long has proven not to work. Both JIA and Chen are working themselves in a better and better position for each attack. Each attacking shot they make. Excellent.
Oh, what a good shot from the left-hander. Took it early. Generated a lot of power. Flat over the net.
Well, right now they're giving a masterclass.
They are, aren't they?
Face palm from JIA that she left that one. How could I do that?
Yes.
The moment Lee So-hee applies power, she gets a flat drive back from a brilliant defense from JIA.
And furthermore, Chen is moving forward to the net.
Yes.
After her partner's drive defense.
No, stay on court. No, stay on court. Shin, no threat run. No.
Shin wants to towel down because her left hand has gotten wet, but Henrik Boas knows better than that, sends her back on court, but I guess she achieved what she wanted anyway.
Yeah, there's another high lift on the return of serve. Yeah.
16-7.
Well, the disappointing thing, Steen, is that they haven't really tried everything that you've suggested. Not that they've obviously heard what you've suggested, but you saying get it below net height, half smashes, angled shots in a downward direction. They just haven't been.
I'm eyeing a job opportunity there. And they've been outmaneuvered so far in this match. Same again. Brilliant play.
And that is a missed opportunity.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're lost first game and are down 8-16, then nothing seems to really go your way. They actually played that rally quite nicely, the Koreans. But also, it's a sign that Lee So-hee is not that comfortable or that close to the net. Losing the service situation again.
Yeah.
Boom, power smash.
Well, they're challenging the Koreans. It's clearly in. Oh, goodness me. Well, it's desperation, isn't it? Retying of shoelaces, challenges for shots that are so far in. 10-point advantage. And just 3 points away from reaching the women's doubles final once again.
That's worth a challenge, I think.
Yeah, that was much closer.
But it's bits and pieces for the Koreans. They're not really capable of scoring the points themselves. It's a little luck here and a little luck there. I would have expected more from them.
So no challenges, but
No challenges remaining.
seeing as their opponents only need 2 more points, I'm not sure that that's such a problem for the Koreans. The scoreline is far more of an issue. Oh my goodness. Good defence initially, but now it's match point opportunities for Chen Cheng and JIA to reach a second final at the end of season championships 3 years after they won the title.
There it is.
First time of asking, and they were totally dominant in that second game. 21-15, 21-8 the scoreline. And Steen said it, the Chinese combination gave their opponents a masterclass today. 29 minutes in total. 39 minutes, I do beg your pardon. Oof, that was close, but they didn't have any challenges there. Yeah, they're happy, and so they should be. 21-15, 21-8, and they're through to a second final at the end of season championships. Well, one thing we know for certain, that in the final, once again, as they did in 2016, it will be Japanese opposition. But it won't be the opponents they beat before, Matsutomo and Takahashi, because they didn't qualify for this year's championships. So as they take leave of centre stage, we look forward to our next semi-final. It's men's doubles. And it is the winners of Group A, Hiroyuki Endo and Yuta Watanabe, the Asian champions and beaten finalists from last year, up against the world #1s and former champions Gideon and Sukamolio. So welcome back to Guangzhou, and this is the fan zone, and this is where all the fans can meet some of the superstars, and Chen Yufei, who